Well, I assure you, my dear Henry, that was James. But his color's all wrong. Yes, you're right. It used to be a sort of darker shade. James was a bright red engine with bright red paint. And now he has new brakes. Let's listen to him. Oh, that's hard. James had two small wheels in front and six driving wheels behind. They weren't as big as Gordon's, and they weren't as small as Thomas's. You're a special mixed traffic engine, the Fat Controller told him. You'll be able to pull coaches or trucks quite easily. The red paint will cheer you up after your accident, continued Sir Topham Hatt kindly. You are to pull coaches today, and Edward shall help you. They went together to find the coaches. Be careful with the coaches, James, said Edward. They don't like being bumped. Trucks are silly and noisy. They need to be bumped and taught to behave. But the coaches, they get cross. And if you bump them, they will pay you out. Okay. So, be careful with them. They took the coaches to the platform, and then they were both coupled on in front. They simmered at the platform and waited for the passengers to board the train. The passengers and Sir Topham Hatt all came to admire James's shining rods and red paint. James was pleased. I really am a splendid engine, he thought, and he suddenly let off steam. Whee! Sir Topham Hatt, the station master, and the guard all jumped, and a shower of water fell on the Fat Controller's nice new hat. Just then, the whistle blew, and James thought they had better go, so they went. Go on, he puffed to Edward. Don't push, puffed Edward, for he did not like starting quickly. They passed the field where James had his accident. The fence was mended, and the cows were back again. James whistled, but they paid no attention, probably not to remember the whole ordeal. He didn't even want to stop at the first station because of what happened. Edward tried hard to stop, but the first coach was beyond the platform. For goodness sake, James. You have to stop at the right place. So they had to go back to let the passengers out. James felt a little embarrassed. Thomas was waiting at the other platform. Hello, James, he said kindly. Feeling better? Yes, Thomas, I am. Oh, that's right. Ah, that's my guard's whistle. I must go. Sorry, I can't stop. I don't know what the Fat Controller would do without me and to run this branch line, and he puffed importantly away. James and Edward left the junction and clattered over Gordon's Hill. It's ever so steep. It's ever so steep, puffed James. Boy. James, did I ever tell you about the time that Gordon got stuck up this hill and I had to push him up? Do you know how many trucks he was pulling? No, only 6. The two chuckled. That evening, the two were coming back, and they stopped at the station. James was still chuckling over how Gordon was stuck up that hill. He laughed so much that he got hiccups. Hic, hic. An old lady fell over because she was so frightened of hiccups for some reason, and she dropped all her parcels, and a porter and a guard had to run after her, picking them up. James pondered to himself. Who is scared of hiccups these days? Then he decided to quickly run off. Don't push, grumbled Edward. James was quiet in the shed that night. He had enjoyed his day, but he was a little afraid of what the Fat Controller would say about the top hat.